100 miles east of Los Angeles, 2 hours drive away. Below us is Gilman Hot Springs, the secret world headquarters of Scientology. This is where David Miscavige pulls the strings of his power. The site resembles a vacation resort. Grand houses, the golf course right next to them, everything including the California sun. There is room for over 1,000 people here, his private army. Only a few Scientologists know of this spot and its meaning. One of them, Jesse Prince, the former representative of David Miscavige, tells us what the picturesque setting conceals.
That means the location there is the real world headquarters of Scientology.
Yes.
And David Miscavige is living there also?
Yes.
How would you describe his living conditions?
Very elaborate, very lavish that I've seen, you know, and you see that some of the buildings that they have are actually quite nice. They look quite nice. Some of the properties are quite nice. Very luxurious, as a matter of fact, is a good word. Reason being is they have zero cost for labor. It's simply material costs because they have their slave camp, they have their slave laborers that work night and day, and then even when the slave laborers can't keep up with it, there's a day, Saturday, where every person at Gilman Hot Springs, no matter what position you're in, goes and does the labor just like the slaves does all day doing renovation. So in that wise, you know, if you have no labor costs and just materials, you can accomplish quite a bit.
Pure luxury made possible by the RPF. Zero labor costs and $300,000 in donations for a private music studio, wardroom and fitness center. All for the comfort of David Miscavige.
You know, if he decides that something needs to look a certain way, well, then that's how it looks. If he decides that things need to be done in a certain way, then that's how they are done. It is by his will, because he's the boss.
The magnificent villa behind the wrought iron fans, a lifestyle which includes a swimming pool, guest house, tennis courts and private movie theater. Luxury in a high-security area.
The security there is quite phenomenal. They have the fences where they have ground sensors, where even if you walk near the fence, they know it. Lights start coming on in the complex. They have night vision cameras, night vision scopes, and they had a location, you know, you notice there's a mountain behind there, a little hill. They had an area up there called Eagle, where someone is constantly watching over the property all the time, a security guard, and they rotated his video and everything. I know these things because I helped set up the security there. Ooh, you're talking about reaping what you sow.
There's no way out.
No. And then they have these nice-looking fences where you can't hardly see, but if you touch it, it cuts your hand. You bleed like crazy. It's like razor sharp on the top, so that if you try to come over, the international management of Scientology, that is the area, CSI, Church of Scientology International, which operates and micromanages all of its other corporations, such as Flag Service Organization here in Clearwater, where we are, is micromanaged from the CSI Corporation at Gilman Hot Springs. The facility that they have in Los Angeles is micromanaged by the facility in Gilman. The facility that they have in Europe is micromanaged by the facility that they have in Gilman Hot Springs. In other words, any area that produces a sufficient amount of income is micromanaged from the Gilman Hot Springs location.
Good night.
I was put in RPF. It was in Happy Valley, just down the road from Gilman Hot Springs, their Golden Arrow location, on an Indian reservation. Yeah, you pass through the suburban Indian reservation.
Who assigned you to the RPF?
David Miscavige.
David Miscavige. That gold?
Yes.
For what reason?
Because I wouldn't go along with his plan to get rid of Pat Nanny Broker. And I refused to do it. I refused to be a part of it. I refused to have anything to do with it. So he said, okay, I'm going to have to get you too. They woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You know, they love this element of surprise. And by the time I had come to the room, they had already gotten Vicky Azaran, who was supposed to be, quote unquote, the #1 person in all of Scientology. And she was sitting in the corner crying and shaking miserably because they, you know, all of these men had screamed at her, pushed her around, and she was very afraid. And then I came in the room, and he says, well, it's over now. You had a chance. You made the wrong choice, and you're going to the RPF. And he told me, you call me sir. I'll never forget it. And I looked at him. I was sitting across the desk. He said, say it, say it, say it. And I got up, and I said, fuck you. And I walked out of the room, at which point people tried to grab me. But I had karate training, and I knocked them together, and they backed off, at which point I ran to my room and got a rifle, a semi-automatic rifle that I had gotten from L. Ron Hubbard, because everyone had rifles, semi-automatic, fully automatic rifles, and a .45, and I came back and I said, what do you want to do now? Now, David totally changed his character. He says, Jesse, you know, we've been through so much. You know, please, let's not do this. Come on, put the guns away. Put the guns away. He didn't take my guns. I put them back, and then I came out and we talked, and he said to me at that point, he says, look, I really need you to do this. You know, please just take this fall because, you know, you're in a high position in the church. All of the staff see this going on. I need you to do this just so Scientology itself doesn't fall apart. And if you do this, then I will come and take you and put you back in a position. And, you know, I didn't really care about that. And at the time, I didn't think that it would be a good idea for all of Scientology to fall apart because I'm still not straight in my head yet. So I conceded.
Happy Valley Rehabilitation Center for Recuperation of Inner Peace lies hidden among the mountains, only 20 minutes away from the center of power. Officially, the area is called Castile Canyon School. Over 100 people live here, including Wiebke H., who is said to have been in the camp since 1995.